Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and I am live. It's about 12:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have been a trading fool. I've been just grinding. I'm working on content for CryptoCrow.io. I've been putting out all kinds of stuff. I set up a completely different system, and specifically for like my trading and other work. And this is the only thing I use this for is streaming. This is my streaming studio now. And CryptoCrow.io is growing. I'm responding to every comment and question, and it's becoming a really good thing. But we're here to talk about Cardano. Cardano and Bitcoin are pumping, and I am not in a trade because I've been prepping for today's interview. And it is what it is. Joey D's in the house. What's going on? I can always see them big arms from like even the tiny little I mean, my arms aren't very big or anything, and then I see like just two giant arms and a baseball hat pop up on a little avatar, and I'm like, okay, that's Joey D. He's in the house. What's going on? RGB crypto, what's going on? All-time highs. I don't know. I'm going to show you guys some stuff. Hold up. There's another chart that I want to pull up real quick. So where is it? I named it something. I wrote a whole thing about it on CryptoCrow.io, I think last night. And is this it? Let me see. No, this is not the one. I've got a really cool one, man. I've reworked everything, and I'm like, November could be absolutely bonkers. And to the point where I'm like nervous. I'm like, oh my God, is this real? Originally, I thought November would be like the big peak of everything, but I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to think. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to share my screen here. Crow singing versions of Crow Your Coins incoming. Crow your coins, crow your coins. You got to crow your coins. I really like your video, Crow. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate that. Hey, Buckley, how's it going? Yeah, there's I mean, it's a good day. We should be breaking above 60 cents. I still want to see above 80 too, but let's take a look at what's going on in the Chiz Arts. So this is you're going to see a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to explain everything in this video, but this is my flux charts working. And you're going to see like order book volume. You're going to see all kinds of little things here and there. And that none of this is probably going to be making much sense other than this change of character, which basically we want to break above this. And that change of character is ultimately like, it's like saying, okay, this downtrend should be over. And but we're not really confirmed yet. We really want to break above this into the 60-cent range and close and continue moving on. And this is an hourly chart. And you also have to remember that the higher the time frame, the more accurate everything is. So, I personally, I've been trading on 15-minute candles because that's just, I don't know, that's been my bread and butter lately. And I've been up and down. I've been trading now for 2 weeks. I probably made, 50 trades, and I'm basically right where I started. I should be way ahead right now because what time? This is 8:30 p.m. So I was basically trading Bitcoin, and around here, I entered a long, and then when I woke up, it was up, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to close it because I have other things to do and I can't monitor it. Otherwise, I would have just trailed my stop all the way up. Now, of course, this is Cardano. That's right. This is Cardano on a 15-minute candle. And you can see on a 15-minute candle, my flux chart gave me a buy signal here. And this has been flowing like crazy. And not only did it give me this buy signal, but it gave me my take profit. So if I were to have entered this trade, all of this would have been on point, man. It went through the first take profit, went through the second. The third is at about 60 cents. So it's just under 60 cents. So we're going to see if we get that. But like, as you can see right here, we got the change of character, and, we want to close above it. And that's pretty much what we're looking at. And are we going to do that? And if we look at Bitcoin, same thing. Bitcoin has been pumping pretty well, but now it looks like it's about at a little bit of a retracement. It didn't quite make the second take profit, which was initiated at this point. I have to say, like, there aren't like 50,000 different indicators on Flux charts, but the ones that exist are very, very good. So it's like, there are a lot of companies out there, and I really like all of them. I'm not going to lie. I like all of them. But as a matter of fact, because I basically scalp trade on 15-minute candles, and I kind of utilize, Trade Travel Chill, what I'm doing from her course, which is the market maker method. That's what these are. These are the market sessions. And if you go to cryptocrow.io, I wrote a breakdown several days ago about utilizing these market sessions and the MACD on a 15-minute candle. And I basically wrote a theory. And I said, I believe that this theory I think this is every day. I think this is how I can trade every morning. And so I'm like, I'll be back. I'm going to test this. And I tested it, and I took all the screenshots and I posted it. I'm like, oh my God, I was right. And it has been right every freaking day since. So if you want to know what that is, make sure you subscribe to cryptocrow.io, because it's bonkers, man. Supoman doesn't see ADA doing much more than 5x. Yeah, I mean, that whatever, you know what I mean? I like Supoman, but he really likes to try and pull, like, Supoman is much more about like making crazy risk on tokens not many people know about that are really low market cap, and then like hoping they run. And I mean, and not to knock Supoman at all, because I really like Supoman. But it's like, if you look at the number of videos he does on a regular basis and the number of tokens that he says are going to go up, I mean, look, if I told you guys that 50 like low market cap tokens were going to moon and 5 of them did next year, I'm going to tell you about how I got 10,000x on these 5 tokens. It's the numbers game. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's cool. But you know what? Even a 5x from here is 5x from here is pretty good. I mean, seriously. But I still think that people are going to be shocked. I really think people are going to be shocked by what happens between now and October. And I'm not going to go into the whole thing. If you want to know the whole thing, you can go to cryptocrow.io, where I did the full breakdown. But I'm going to show you something here that I think is going to blow your mind a little bit. If you look, so yesterday we were 140 days out. And this is from the proposed peak of the market, okay? And I've looked at this different ways, but I've looked at this with, the last time I was looking at these numbers, I thought, maybe we don't actually peak until 2026. And there is a chance that something like that happens. But a lot of people are like, oh, the market's dead. The market's dead. And if you look at this price growth, okay, if you look, this is all the way from 11, 21, and 22. These are 2 weekly. These are like, each one of these candles is 2 weeks, okay? Just so that I could fit everything on this chart, because I screenshotted this whole thing from my Crypto Crow site. But 140 days out, and you can see it's a pretty steady growth incline, right? And the funny thing is that I've seen people talk about how this is lining up a lot more with like 2017. I'm not going to get into the 2021 market. I go into all of this in my post. But if you look at the 2017 market, look at this. Very steady growth. We didn't have the chop and the up and down and all the craziness and everything associated with COVID, which threw the 2021 market cycle off quite a bit. But just in the last 140 days of the market cycle in 2017, we went up 1,122% in Bitcoin with no institutions. Okay? That was retail only, folks. So even if we were to cut that into a third, and we just went up 375% from where we are here, that still puts us at about $500,000 Bitcoin, folks. This is why, and I did this because I'm thinking, what is it about Why are so many people talking about Bitcoin? We might see 500,000. I've seen people say we could hit 1 million this year, right? And looking at this chart, if we did the same price action that we did in 2017 in the same time frame over these last 140 days, if the market in fact peaks out in November, which would be a great birthday month for me, that's 1,100%. That would put us at over like $1.3 million for Bitcoin. Do I think that's going to happen? No, but I think somewhere in the middle of this likely is, which means that we very easily could hit a $500,000 Bitcoin over the next, between now and November. What does that mean for Cardano? Well, let's be real. If we only had 3%, just even 3% of that volume, 3% of that liquidity, even without Bitcoin OS, even without all of the bells and whistles associated with Cardano right now. Midnight is about to kick off. We've got so much stuff about to kick off on Cardano. And, it's one of the reasons why I posted this thread, because, and I'm just gonna tell you guys about it a little bit now. I posted this thread, and Charles isn't probably going to like it very much, but I feel like it's as honest and real as I can be. And it wasn't really to knock Charles, but to make a point about the Cardano community, as it were, right now. And, the fact of the matter is, I would suggest you guys read this because I wrote it out. I typed it out very specifically. Charles is a polarizing figure, man. There's no doubt about it. Charles is very polarizing, and he has a mentality that I feel to a large degree is very logical. I wouldn't say he's autistic. I have no idea. A lot of people, including my wife, think I am. My wife thinks she is. My wife has several of those autistic type traits. We love the shows, Love on the Spectrum. What's the other one? With everyone with Down syndrome. We love those shows, man. Like I don't think any of us watch any of them without getting teared up. So it's like they're very, very good shows. But the reality is that Charles has, I feel like he has taken a lot of us in the community for granted. I definitely do 1,000% believe that, myself included. And I feel like, but look at someone like Steve Jobs. Was there anyone more polarizing than Steve Jobs? And, we can all judge and we can all say, oh, Charles is this, Charles is that. Charles is mean, or he's defensive, or he's always playing the victim, and he's got this like billionaire narcissism, right? Like we can say whatever we want, but the reality is the man designed and developed and built a decentralized blockchain that empowers all of us to take over for him. Charles is not necessarily the speakerhead of Cardano anymore. We, the community, are. And we, the community, need to have a little bit more of a tougher skin. It's like, I feel like to some degree, Charles is constantly injecting himself in conversations that he doesn't really belong in. He likes to share opinions. Like, I thought the whole Ford joke, I thought that was pretty tasteless, considering one of your biggest developers is working out a partnership with them. Just things that he's just like blissfully unaware of a lot of what he does to people, or doesn't do for people, or just like, it's just his way. But while we could look at him and judge him and say, oh, he's XYZ, makes me feel some kind of way, we don't know what it's like to be a developer, someone who spent his life trying to change the world, programming and coding and conceptualizing and planning and doing everything related to the development of Cardano, the project that's brought us all together as a community to begin with. And it's just time for everybody to move past Charles. I'm sorry to say it, but let Charles hoot, holler, rant, go play with ants. Let him do what he wants to do. It shouldn't matter. This is not a corporation where Charles is the CEO. Charles is the founder of something that was gifted to us, the community, the people, to run. And he's the CEO of a development arm that effectively works for us at this point. They're well funded, but they're capable and they're trustworthy. And they've proven that they have the ability to do everything they say they're going to do. I don't care about the beefs between IOHK and Cardano Foundation and everybody flinging mud. I don't care about any of that bullshit. Let them sort that. What I care about is the community itself, because it's we, the community, that have driven Cardano to where it is today to begin with, mixed in with Charles' vision, his what he breaks down as his goals. So, I think everybody needs to lighten up, loosen up, and prepare for what's coming. Midnight, hands down, some of the best tech I've ever read about in a white paper. I don't think I've ever been more inspired and more interested and more excited about a blockchain in my life, even honestly, since I first discovered Cardano back in 2017. And it's like, I know that Charles can be very polarizing and he can say dumb shit. I get it. I've sent him message after message trying to give him advice on things. He doesn't listen. It's his own prerogative. He can do what he wants to do. The point is, Cardano is bigger than Charles. Cardano is bigger than us alive today. What we're doing is we're laying the foundation for the future growth of a decentralized chain that's effectively going to change the world. And we do owe Charles a great deal of respect for creating that, and not only creating it, but putting it in the hands of each and every one of us. And that's all there is to it. The comment, Emmeline, yeah, that's why Satoshi Nakamoto disappeared. Whoever he is, I personally think it's a group of people at the NSA, but who cares what I think? That's my opinion. But it's the truth. I think Charles would be much better served if he were, I don't know, either happier or he felt more confident. Because, there are a lot of people always attacking him, and there are a lot of people coming for him all the time, which creates this defensive demeanor where he's always ready to strike back. It's like a Donald Trump type syndrome. You say something about Trump, he's going to say it right back. He's going to come back for you. But that's not a position of strength. And quite frankly, I feel that Charles is in a position where he should be far above and well separated from a lot of the nuance related to the trolls and the naysayers, because a lot of that shit's paid for anyway. Let's be real about it. A lot of the negative sentiment around Cardano and effectively Charles is all paid narratives. It's all a part of different paid campaigns, bots galore. There's so many bots. There are going to be bots in the comments of this video. Dan Gambardello, he suffers with a lot of these bots. It's like they're specifically tuning into keywords, tags, content on YouTube, and these bots get activated to just try and shit all over Cardano, all over Charles. The problem is Charles reacts to a lot of it. I don't, because I know it's a lot of garbage, right? It's competing blockchains. It's all sorts of stuff. And I guess the overall point, even though it sounds like I'm trying to throw Charles under the bus, I'm not. I still like Charles, and I respect Charles for who he is, what he's accomplished. Does he rub me the wrong way sometimes? 100%. Do I rub him or anyone else on YouTube the wrong way sometimes? 100% I do. But it doesn't change my heart, and it doesn't change my ultimate goal. We are always going to bump into people. We're going to bump shoulders with somebody going through a crowd. Doesn't mean I'm trying to pick a fight. It doesn't mean I want a piece of you. It just means we took up some similar space. We bumped into each other. We moved the fuck on. It's not the end of the world, right? And I just feel like so many people right now are taking the overall sentiment of the cryptocurrency space to a level that doesn't belong going there, ultimately because crypto's been down. The market's been down. Every bag everybody holds has been underperforming against Bitcoin right now, but that's the nature of blockchain. We've all been here a million times before. Why does that have to suddenly change now? I've already showed you market cycle. If it peaks in November, that is literally in line almost day for day with every previous cycle except for its first one in 2013. So it's not necessarily that the market cycles are getting longer. It's that the the time periods of the pumps or the time periods of the lulls are changing a little bit, right? And it's changing based on institutional involvement and so many different things. Listen, I don't want to get things twisted in any of this, but I really do respect the shit out of Charles. I really, really do. And I like Charles. I just think that his personality comes through in different ways at different times. And honestly, I could say the same for myself. It's like I rub people the wrong way. I say things politically sometimes, and then I'll see the comments and and it's like, listen, it is what it is. I have my opinions. We all have an opinion on things. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world. But it also doesn't mean that we have to like cross each other off of a list because we might disagree. That is an opportunity for both of us to grow through conversation, not through debate or even through debate, but not through fighting, not through arguing, right? So, I think people like Cardano Whale and even L, right? I had a bone to pick with L. I mean, I was pulled in, I was invited to come share my perspectives on Cardano and the market in this like Twitter space. As soon as I go in there, L's like cutting me off, interrupting me, yelling at me, calling me stupid, and shutting off my mic. And I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And who do you think you are? Obviously, L has some serious entitlement issues. And apparently he's stepped away from social media. He's frustrated. The problem is that so many of us create our own demons. And, if we don't have the self-reflection to understand why these things are happening to us on a consistent and regular basis, or why we're constantly finding ourselves frustrated, unable to move forward, those are issues for us to resolve internally. It has nothing really to do with the outside world. We choose what radio stations we choose to tune into, and then we choose how much of it we want to contemplate, consider, take in as a part of ourselves. I ignore the trolls. The trolls are nonsense. The ones that are the very few that are even real people with a real sentiment, or just like, whatever, have a valid point at all, are so few and far between that it's not even worth my time or attention. And I don't care if it's somebody on X or YouTube comments. I wish Charles would learn to calm the hell down. Honestly, I've said a lot, and I've shared my thoughts with him very openly, and I think it's time that everybody tones it down and we start focusing on what's right in front of us. Nothing but opportunity with a platform that Charles, in his genius, has helped build along with hundreds of other developers, put in our hands to effectively change the world with his vision. His vision was to deliver what's been delivered. He continues building upon it. Laos is going to change the fucking game. Midnight, best tech I've ever seen. Midnight is so exciting for me that, and think about it. And remember, and I know this all sounds silly, but remember, I had my cat Cardano that I got and named after Cardano. But when we got our other black cat, we named her Midnight before Midnight was ever even a thing. Okay, I'm not saying Charles, they named it Midnight because, Crypto Crow named his cat Midnight. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying destiny is what destiny is, man. And I've always taken that as a sign we're on to something. And I think everybody needs to leave their discontent to the side, especially right now, and focus on the growth, because we are about to boom. We are about to grow substantially. And it's time that we put all these petty differences aside and get over ourselves and start working together more cohesively as the community we are, to the benefit of each and every one of us in the community because of what's been built, and respect the individuals that put their lives into building what we all appreciate. And that's it. What if you're wrong? I'm not wrong. I'm always right sometimes. Where the hell have you been? But yeah, seriously. So, and yeah, that's it. That is basically the gist of the whole Twitter X post, because I've had people ask me, and I'm just like, everything's good. And I figure, you know what? I think the Ford joke kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm like, all right, listen, because a lot of people think that I'm like this blind, I'm just a blind follower, and and I'm like, no, I'm not. I truly respect Charles and the tech that he's been building and his drive. And you know what? I'm going to say this too: billionaire or not, okay, it doesn't really matter how much money you have. No amount of money completely gets rid of your emotions. No amount of money washes clean all of your demons, all of your insecurities, all of your self-doubt. That money doesn't change any of that, right? So a lot of us can look at Charles and say, oh, he's a billionaire. He's always talking about his Lambos and his land, his ranch, his helicopter, he's this and that. Listen, everyone's insecure. We all have insecurities. I have insecurities. I'm a 7-foot ogre everywhere I go, especially in Florida. I can draw a crowd. I draw a lot of attention. My wife's only 5 foot. Everywhere we go, we're getting eyeballed by everyone. We get people coming up trying to take pictures. They don't even know who I am on YouTube. They just see this giant guy and they figure I'm either in the NBA or I've heard retired football player. I've heard retired I'm like, thanks for throwing the retired on all of it. The gray hair throwing you. But anyway, the reality is, man, is we all have insecurities and we all work towards dealing with them. And you know what? If there's anything that I will say is also true of Charles is that he at least tries. Why do you think he went out and did that whole bullet ant bullshit? Do you think that was just for like ego? No, I think that the man tries to intentionally put himself into awkward, terrifying, bad situations to basically grow from the suffering. I think he at least recognizes the fact that, as a billionaire, he has everything any human man could want. And that's still not getting it for him. I think for a man like Charles, it's about accomplishment. I think it's about milestones. It's about building. I think Charles is a builder and a brilliant one at that. And you know what? That comes with a price sometimes. And sometimes that comes with being, whether it's socially awkward, different vices, maybe. I don't know. It could be anything. But yeah, it's just like we all need to calm the hell down, man, and get over ourselves and just start focusing on what's happening. So just to recap, Bitcoin's been pumping quite a bit. Where do we go from here? I don't know. But over the next 140 days, I think this is going to be quite only up only. Now, if I were to look at this on a monthly calendar, we have been pretty much month or up only since the March, January, February, March, April. So we've been up only since April. I don't remember when I last called it, but I pretty much said that we're going to be up only on the monthly. Or did I say weekly? I might have said weekly, and if I did, I was wrong. But ultimately, it might have been monthly. But yeah, and this is all flux chart stuff I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use. But look at this. This is like a solid trend, man. This is just bonkers. If you would have bought down here, this is flux chart indicating that if you would have bought all the way back here on January 23rd of 2023, your take profits would be somewhere around here if you're trying to just make a big old trade. But here we are, man. We're running. And so, I just think we're heading into the time when we're just heading into a significant time right now. Make sure you subscribe to cryptocrow.io. This is a big read for you guys. You guys would really, really like. And then if you're into trading, you're definitely going to want to check this out. 15-minute candle MACD market transfer setup. This is a big deal. I discovered this just literally studying patterns, and then I traded it. So this was on the 29th. The following morning, I traded this, and I'm like, oh, wow, I was right. And I've been trading this every morning. Like, I'm waking up at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. now just to prepare for this. Basically, like the 8 a.m. to 11 o'clock market. Okay. And it's a big deal. You guys are going to want to check it out. And now that I'm using flux charts, these things are helping me even more. And I'm going to be diving into this. I'm going to be doing tutorials and just all kinds of stuff. So Yeah, man, that's all I wanted to say. Charles is probably never going to talk to me again after all of this, but you know, it is what it is. I call it as I see it, and it's like it really isn't about knocking Charles at all. It's just, you know, I just think certain things have to be said. People need to understand where I stand on all of it, because I get asked all the time and I just blow it off. And I'm like, listen, I'm here for the tech. I'm here for Cardano. I'm here to change my world financially by speculating on a technology product that a very brilliant individual designed and built with the experience of Ethereum, the experience of Bitcoin. And I don't really care. I don't care if he loves me, hates me. I don't care if he sends me bags of shit in the mail and tells me to F off. I'm not here for Charles. I'm here for Cardano. I'm not here for his political opinions. I'm not here for any other reason other than to benefit from the great technology that the man has built. He could be running around throwing hot bags of shit at everyone on the streets and posting tweets about it every day, and I don't care. I'm not going to let that affect what has been built and the benefit to all of us for what is ultimately the most decentralized blockchain out there, and gifted to us, the community, to do with as we will. And I think we need like everybody that's pulled away, everybody that is like, you know, sidestep social media as it relates to Cardano whale L. I don't even remember. I mean, I feel like there's been a handful of people that have just been like, ugh, I have the ick, I'm taking a step back. No, don't take a step back. Now is the time to get involved. Now is the time to be the bigger person and to continue to build and expand the community, to unify the community, you know, now is the time, folks. There's no better time than now. And if everything goes as planned, we've got 140 days for everything to really start changing lives in dramatic ways. Don't miss out on that. And don't miss out on playing your part in what I believe truly is going to be historical on so many different levels. Let Charles build. Let Charles do what he does best. Let Charles use the assets and the perks and the benefits of being him. And, you know, and it benefits all of us. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, how many of us have friends where we're like, you know what? He's a good enough dude. He's a cool dude. He has his benefits. I know, like, if my car broke down, he'd come pick me up at 3 a.m., but he might still steal my lighter out of my glove box or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, we all have like these little things about ourselves that rub different people the wrong way, and we have to overlook all that. We have to overlook it. You know, he hasn't done anything dishonest. He hasn't, I mean, even though people, you know, trolls, people try to make up shit all the time, you know, it's like, listen, folks, I think a lot of people are overreacting to a lot of noise and nonsense. And I'm just not here for any of it. I call it as I see it. It is what it is. We're all here to benefit. So let's start focusing on doing that, shall we? I really do believe it's time. It really is time for us all to start coming back together and start really uplifting this community and just being a part of the greatness that is Cardano. Because I'm telling you, between now, October, November, December, all of our lives are very, very likely going to be changing. And I haven't even gotten into news or anything. I'll probably come on. I'll cover a lot of that stuff tomorrow. I mean, the ETF, hello. I mean, Cardano is now officially a part of a grayscale ETF, and there's more coming. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening. It's just time to kill the noise. I'm not with it anymore. It is what it is. And yeah, check out cryptocrow.io. I'm going to be heading right over there right now. See if there are any new questions or comments that I can answer. And yeah, from now on, for everybody on here, man, like, and don't ever tip me on YouTube. The best way you can show your support is just being a part of cryptocrow.io. Pick a tier you like. If you want access to everything, it's cheap, man. It's $15. Okay. It's nothing. And individual tiers, if there's only one particular subject that you're interested in, it's $5. It's nothing. It's a coffee. Okay. And it means a lot to me, and I really, really do appreciate it. So until next time, guys and gals, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you very, very soon. And you know what? I love Charles too. Okay. Just so everybody knows, he's not going to like me after this video or that Twitter, but I do. I love the man. I respect him fully. But it is what it is, right? We can't please everybody. He can't, I can't. It is what it is. But we're all here for the same reason, and that's Cardano. And soon, midnight, Glacier airdrop is coming to a theater near you. Until then, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.